Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Peripera Ink Pocket Shadow Palettes. There are two colours in the collection. There is number 1, which is called My Little Red Bean, and number 2, which is called Once Upon a Pink. I'm wearing number 2 on my eyes at the moment as we speak. And I picked these up because they just look like fun products to try. So for these ones, the product description says, pocket-sized eyeshadow palette containing matte satin glitter type and base colour to point colour. Micro-fine powder provides great adhesion and keeps the eye makeup longer. The packaging of these products is quite nice. I like that they tied in the packaging colour with what's on the inside, which makes it really easy to tell them apart. I do wish, however, that they had a mirror instead of a clear top, because I feel like that would be a lot more helpful than anything else, and I feel like looking through the shadow palette is not the most interesting thing to look at, so I would have actually preferred a mirror in this one. There are 4 shadows in each. They have a light base colour, a nice crease colour, a shimmery glitter, and then a deeper colour, which makes them really, really good for creating a nice cohesive eye look, but not very inventive for doing much else. This is the lightest colour in the first palette, which is the red bean one. This one I don't use very much because it just looks like either apricot or orange, and I don't really have very much use for it. This is the middle toned crease shade. It's kind of like a pumpkin orange kind of colour. Again, I don't get a huge amount of wear out of this one. This is the glittery shade from number 1. I really like the colour of this one. It's kind of like a nice gold glitter. Doesn't have a huge amount of base pigment, but it is very, very glittery. This is the darkest brown shade in the palette. It's a really nice dark warm brown, and it's easy to blend out for such a dark brown. In the second palette, this is the lightest shade. I really cannot see very much of it on my skin, but what I do see is kind of a very pale peach. This is the lighter brown colour. This is such a nice colour to go in my crease because it's not super pigmented, so I can blend it out really, really easily. This is the sparkle colour. I really like this one, even though it does look a bit more peachy than it does in the palette. It has a really nice base colour, it's very light, and it's very, very glittery. This is the darkest colour, which I actually really like. It's not too hard to blend, although I probably wouldn't wear it on its own. Because it's a quad, there really isn't a huge amount of stuff that I can, like a huge amount of looks that I can do with this. So I'm going to use this colour in the crease, this colour on the inner half of the lid, and then this colour on a little bit of the outer half. I'm not going to use this colour at all because I tried it as a base before and it doesn't really do anything for me. Like, it doesn't really work that well, so I'm just going to skip using it entirely and only use the other 3 colours. I could use it on my brow bone if I wanted to, but it would just be kind of including it for the sake of including it, and I don't feel like that's really very necessary. So I am going to bring some of that into my lower lash line as well, which I'll have to duck my head down to do, otherwise I will manage to get it in my eyeballs. So then I'm going to take the sparkly colour with a flat shader brush. This one is again from Zoeva. It is the Luxe Smoky Shader in 234, and I'm going to apply that to the inner part of my eye, definitely going over to like, maybe 3/4 of my eyelid. And I also put some in the inner corner as well. And then I'm going to use the same flat shader brush to pick up some of that dark brown and just place it into the outer third of my eye. And then I'm going to use a blending brush to blend it. So I'm just, oh, I got glitter in my eye, ow. So I'm just very lightly tapping and pressing that darker shadow on. She's working okay without the blending brush today. And then I'm also going to bring some into the outer corner as well. Sorry, I'm in the lower lash line. And then using that same blending brush, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a blend. Honestly, I feel like it doesn't really need it though. It's quite easy to use these shadows, which is very, very nice from Peripera. And that is it for this look. So that's what I can do with the little rose palette. I basically did the same thing with the peach palette. I used the crease colour in the crease, the glitter in the inner part of my eye, and then the dark brown on the outer part. I didn't like this one quite as much though. So overall for these shadow palettes, I feel like they are really, really lovely little products. I just don't have a huge amount of use for them because I prefer some of the other ones that I have already, like my Lily by Red palette, which oh, I love. However, I did find them really easy to use. The packaging is great, there is nothing wrong with it, and it's nice and compact, so there's no extra space that I feel like is being wasted, which I feel like is really good for me because I just don't have enough room in my house at the moment. The colours I think are really well thought out and they work well together. All four of them in each shade work really nicely, and it's really easy to create a really nice, easy, on the everyday sort of go look. I don't have the most use for the lighter colour, but I know that a lot of people like to use them as a base or like a brow colour, so I can see why they're there. They're just not really that functional for me personally. They are also really easy to use for me, so I found that I had no problems blending them, even the darker colours, so I thought that they were very, very easy to use in that aspect as well. Overall, I pretty much liked everything about these eyeshadow palettes, aside from the fact that I wish that they had a mirror, but that again is another personal preference. I can't make people put mirrors in things, but I would like it if they did because it makes it much easier if you're traveling. But I think that these are really great products to pick up if you just do one sort of eyeshadow look all the time and you want four colours that are really good for that. I especially love the rose one, so Once Upon a Pink, that's number 2. I think that that one is my favourite out of the two, of course. So thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!